and so we had a very good performance against a very, very good team. Okay, and we almost did it because of the preparation. I think there's a little in-game stuff that I really want to improve on. Where when someone makes a play, the next play, or you're not down, you're ready to compete for the next play. I think we let some plays snowball for some of the game, and that's to the credit of the Buffalo Bills. That is a really, really good football team that plays hard and is fundamentally sound, and that's why they're so hard to beat at home. On the positive side, I think that is night and day from the football we've played since the bye. So had we played like that for the whole season, we wouldn't we'd be feeling a lot different because it wouldn't be the third loss in a row. So I think perspective is important, and I think there's stuff to learn from it. And it's a gut check for sure. But I know the guys aspire to be great. Well, this is one thing that only great people can do, is really go all in, really invest, spend a lot of time, and do everything the right way and still come up short. That's football. That's what happens when you play really good football teams on their home turf.
Coach, obviously looked like you wanted to run the football in this game, and it's been tough sledding the last couple of weeks. What were you able to do tonight to get that running game going and as effective as it was?
I think it started with the running backs, that they really they knew it was their time, that they wanted to carry the load. They really were they had the right mindset, and then it's credit to the offensive line for really going after a team that plays hard, that if you don't go after, they make you look pretty stupid pretty fast. So I think they had I'm not sure what we ended up with, but anytime you play a team in whatever week it is, the 14th or 15th week of the season, and they've given up, I think, three games around 150 and everything else below that, rushing. They should be proud of it because it was deliberate work that was collective, and the wideouts were blocking, and the quarterback was doing a good job.
Did you feel you got away from the ground game a little bit as the game went on? Did you wish you stuck with it a little more?
I mean, you have to – in a game like that, you have to kind of stay ahead of what the defense is doing. I think when they adjust, we had to give them a reason to play single safety. I think they played 4 snaps of man the first time we played them, and so you have a choice. You can either play scared, or you can try to, continue doing what your offense is built to do, and that's if they're blitzing 5-man pressures to stop the run. You have to, it's going to get ugly. So I was fine with the way the game went, and I think all of our players would, if given the opportunity, the offensive line and the running backs believe in our receivers and quarterback, and you have to play to each other and take what the defense is giving you.
Mike, it's always
How did you describe kind of what you saw taking place on that final drive? And was there any thoughts to let the Bills score once behind happened?
Yeah, there was a thought, but that's the reason. If you guys were watching the game, they didn't score a touchdown, and they went to 3rd and 1 because they kneeled it. So, there was thought to it, but they weren't going to allow us to do that. They get paid too, and they're pretty smart coaches. So, we were trying to, once it got past the long field goal, that was obviously the thought, and they were going to make sure that the field goal was the last play of the game. So, credit to them, and they did what they needed to do to win the football game.
Hey, Mike, one quick question. Leading up to the game, the weather played like a huge role in factor. I want to know, because once the elements really came down, that's when the game kind of got away. So how much impact do you put on the play?
I don't at all. No, I mean it was a football game. Yeah, it did start snowing, and I think we moved the ball to the high 40-yard line, and we threw a slant and it wasn't complete, and so then we had to punt. So, yeah, I know a lot of people would like to make it about the weather. Our team never did, and it was cool for you guys to talk about, but it was more about the football and football field, football players on the football field. Because again, if you any competitor worth their weight, if you're playing in the same elements, so.
To compete at this level in those wintry conditions, does that give the team confidence going forward? Would you have to?
No, I think it's cool to go through the first time of a snow game. It's really exciting. So, I mean, hopefully, I think our team. I mean, they had to field questions about it all week, and I don't think they. We do play football in a warm weather city, but I think at least we can put that to rest. For the guys that hadn't played in a snow or cold game, it's cool to get that under their belt. But
Mike, an opposite weather question would be that once it did start snowing that last sequence, you showed no hesitation at putting it in the air several times, and you were able to succeed at doing that. What does that tell you about this offense, its effectiveness, your confidence into all of that put together?
no, it's. I think they all wanted to do that. They kind of knew they'd be geared up to stop the run, and they looked at it like they had to win the game. I think they expected to, and it was we thought we had a chance to go put it in our hands, and I think offensively they really wanted that, and it just came up short. Thought I really had a ton of confidence in Jason, and so we were really hoping on that last third down to get about 7 or 8 yards to put us in situation to try to get points, and we were unable to, which was unfortunate.
Coach, from the beginning of the season, you went 3 straight, and you kind of had a cushion as far as win-loss record. You have 3 games left. It's tightening up, and these 3 games are going to be very important moving forward. Are you confident with your team bouncing back from this one and being able to close the deal?
I feel the same way that thought the last 3 weeks. The one thing that I will say about our team is they were not feeling like they had a cushion. They've gone after it. I don't think that has changed. It just makes it real tough, which makes it more worth it. If you're able to do it, it makes it more difficult for sure, because you keep getting the wind knocked out of you. But the players have given me no reason thus far to expect anything other than the high resolve and determination to finish the season off right. And I mean, shoot, you got a home game coming up, and here's the thing with football. There's no such thing as a season without adversity, because you either experience it, work through it, and then are able to continue winning games, or you don't have it, and then you lose at the end of the season. So it's adverse either way. My main goal is to see coaches and players, to see what I expect from them, which is tough-minded people with resolve and determination, and aren't going to let the idea of it being hard be the reason that they can't progress. I mean, that should be to me, the second something gets difficult, you have a chance to do something that others can't. And that's kind of, from a competitor's perspective, it should be a heck of an opportunity that I expect and am pretty confident that we'll see from our team.
What was going on with Javon Holland and Jalen Walker, two guys that ended up coming back in the game?
There were some dings that I don't totally know the story of. One was pretty Waddles was I really don't even know what the diagnosis was. It was something with his hand, and Javon was he's such a competitor. I've never seen him go out, so he ended up finishing the game. We'll have more news on that. I don't know when my press conference is, but in the future.
What did you, off the top of your head, what did you notice about your team's performance in the red zone today? What went wrong in the red zone today?
Well, I mean, it's a good defense. The Buffalo Bills tried to not let us score, unfortunately. There's some execution issues. There was one contested ball that you hope somebody can make a great one. There was one that one of our really we're not in this situation to compete for this game if we don't have Trent Sherfield, and the ball bounces some ways sometimes. Other than that, I believe we had a rushing touchdown, and it's just in games like that, guys will look back on that. You can kind of count points that way, but it's also the game evolves and is a circumstance of situations. So, you're not going to make every play. I thought guys did a good job, and there's just a couple times the Buffalo Bills were better than the Miami Dolphins, so they win and we lose.
How critical was that sequence where Phillips and Wilkins combined on the strip sack fumble, and yet you only got 3 out of it? How critical did you see that?
I mean, it's technically every time we got 3 and not 7, you could say that lost the game. They're all critical, and that's what you try to, that's what the accountable people. As an accountable coach, that's the way you approach it, and you hope the players match that accountability, which they have all season. So I think every single time that we kicked a field goal, from our standpoint, we would say, hey, that lost the game. And then you'd expect the defense to say, hey, no, that shouldn't have mattered. And that's enough points. So I think it's that mutual accountability that is the only way that you can really do what everybody with the Miami Dolphins, the fan base, and the organization really want to do. And that, I mean, we got a game next week, and it will. That's really all you can control. And right now, I think it would be weak-minded of any player or coach on the Miami Dolphins to have less confidence from this game going into next week. That would just mean that they're sick of being vulnerable. And that's if I have any say in that will not be the case. But they need to learn from this. They need to learn that the game is 60 minutes, and that's where I see real opportunity for growth more than anything. It's not a turnover that we got, or it's not a field goal instead of a touchdown. To me, I saw hands down frustration that I don't want to see when people are going to make plays, especially good teams. So there's you got to get used to really wanting to win. And dealing with the consequences, even in drive, because they have to score, they have to be in the end zone. So that's where I can see coaches and players need to improve from this game, because I think if that didn't occur, ironically, before watching it, I think we would have won the game. That was the biggest failure.
Final question.
distracted?
I mean, the officials did a great job. I was just more concerned with the safety when there's ice balls flying at people's heads, and I think that's what they were concerned with as well. So that there's several people that got hit. It's whatever.